Hi everyone, welcome back to It's All Light. I'm your host, Natalie Baugh, and boy, it feels good to be back here in the studio and doing a chat with Nat and having the right setup and the right intro. Sometimes the episodes I do on my own, just for quality purposes, don't turn out as good. So it just feels good to be back here. If you're watching on YouTube or can see the video of this, my nose is super red, and part of it's lighting, but also part of it brings me to our topic of today, and that is fasting, like a prolonged fast, which I did one a few months ago. Well, I don't know, I can't remember when the first one was, for 48 hours, and I may have mentioned it on the podcast. And yeah, my coworker had watched the Chris Hemsworth video, I think is what it was, the series where he fasts for like 4 days or something, and she's like, do you want to do a fast with me? And I was like, yeah, sure, I'm down. So we did 2 days, and it was pretty hard, and I think the second day I definitely felt a little weaker, pale, but we finished, and it was like the most glorifying time to eat food, and I had never been so grateful and humbled, and it was like a very spiritual experience for me. So we had talked about doing a 72-hour fast, and I was trying to find time to do it, and then this week just ended up being a good week for me. She ended up not doing it with me, but I was like, okay, I'm going to try 72 hours. So I started Monday at 6 and I finished tonight actually at 6. Today's Thursday. And yeah, it was a different experience than my 48-hour fast. I think it was because I was a little bit prepared with how I would feel, as well as like excited to see what day 3 would be like, because I hadn't done that threshold yet. So yeah, I feel like my reasons were just to push myself and see what I'm capable of, as well as, of course, the benefits, and to see the benefits. And I'll talk about some of the benefits, but it's hard to see sometimes because the benefits are for like anti-aging, which you won't know until you're actually aging more. Or like it reduces risk of diseases, but it's like you don't see like fruit of that necessarily, because hopefully you avoid getting a disease, So I also fasted for spiritual reasons as much as I could, just because it really is a cool experience to let your mind and spirit control your body and not have to rely on food. It helped me focus at work and just like control my mind a little bit. Day 3 was harder to do that. Also, it's just harder. Sometimes in the office, everyone's talking and it's a fun environment and hard to work. So a little bit of that, as well as my brain kind of felt like I was just thinking more fast. I also didn't get as much sleep, which is a factor. So today was a weird day. I didn't necessarily feel starving, but I talked about food all day long. Kind of funny. But yeah, yesterday was like my most focused day. I was so productive, and it was hard to get up though. I did feel weak in the morning, but then once you get up, and I took my electrolytes. So yeah, I definitely drank water and electrolytes and tea and sparkling water the entire time. Last time I did just unflavored Redmond Relight, but this time they changed the formula. Now it's 0 calories. So I had flavored Relight, which helped a ton. Ice helped a ton. But yeah, I think I also did this to just trust myself in doing hard things and sticking with something. And yeah, helps with anti-aging. And it was cool because when you hit 72 hours, it resets your immune system and the cells start to regenerate. And so I think I hit that threshold today. I looked super pale though, and my hands were white, and I was pretty cold. I did not look my best leaving work, and then finally I ate at Redmond Cafe, and it was just glorious to eat food again. And I tried to ease into it. So I had some nuts and a little bite of a granola bar first, ordered my food, and I ordered a lot of food and then just tried to take bites of it all. And I was so excited to eat. But it wasn't as excited as the first time I did a 48-hour fast, which that was a fun experience. This time, I think because I had done it before, it just felt good to eat. But because I hadn't had food for 3 days, I had to be very slow. And I don't think I did the best job. I feel okay, but I feel feel just a little like my stomach's like, what did you do to me? You just put food back in me, and it's processing it. So I don't feel bad, but I don't feel like completely normal. So it'll be interesting to see what happens the next few days. One of the main reasons, like online, if you Google why people do 72-hour fast, is like for weight loss, which wasn't my priority. And I don't really track that, but I did notice my face looking more like hollow. But now I feel like I'm getting back to normal. Don't know why my nose is so red. I don't know. Maybe I'm just finally getting back to just my cells generating and stuff. It's so interesting. So you start going through ketosis and autophagy. And autophagy is kind of that cell regeneration, I think. I'm still learning. But yeah, from my research, there's so many things you can learn about how your body works. And I'm lucky at work I was able to use Keto Mojo and test my ketones and my glucose. And then with that, you can put it on a mathematical equation where you plug in your ketones and your glucose to get your GKI score. And I think it's just your glucose keto I forgot the I stands for. And I was a 0.47. And that's the lowest you can get, under 1. And that means it's, like it said, highest therapeutic of ketosis, and says very difficult to achieve without doctor's supervision or on your own. So it's kind of cool that I was able to get to that level of ketosis and autophagy and cell regeneration just on my own by fasting. And yeah, kind of crazy. I don't know how often I'll do this or if I'll do it again, but I think fasting is something to experiment with. I think maybe it would help if you have stomach issues to take 3 days off and let your body you go into a starvation survival mode in a sense, and your body starts to kick in cells and processes that aren't normally used, like the process of burning the fat versus, there was a cool video on TikTok, maybe I'll find it and post it in the show notes, where it's like you keep eating food and then you have insulin, you break down the food, but then if you keep snacking, then the insulin keeps adding more, but then you put those in different stores that need it in your body, but then you have an excess amount that's stored as fat, then it takes a longer time to get rid of all this excess insulin. And yeah, it's a whole big process, and I'm still at the beginning of my learning in all of this. But I like how humbling it is. This one felt different than my first fast, and it's hard to pinpoint why. I tried to journal. That's what I'm looking at right now. The first day I had a headache and felt lightheaded when I tried to work out. And then I got 10 hours of sleep, which helped. Last night did not do well at sleeping, and I think that maybe would have made a difference in how I felt today. I didn't feel excessively tired or weak. I didn't feel weak today or lightheaded, thank goodness. So it was just really interesting to just see how your body handles things. But yeah, some other benefits that I found online: improved memory, better concentration. I definitely saw those. Although my memory, by the end, I left my keys at work and all sorts of stuff. So, but part of that's just personality too. So it's what can you put it to, decreases risk for disease. So it reduces inflammation and blood pressure and heart rate. I'm actually curious. I haven't been checking my heart rate or my stats on my watch lately. But yeah, my heart rate's pretty normal. Resting heart rate 63, and right now I'm beating at 86. But yeah, you have less fatty liver, decreased atherosclerosis. I think I said that wrong. I don't know what that is. And then it helps prevent cancer. And it aids in weight loss because it increases your insulin sensitivity and your fat burning, right? Because your body's not using food as energy. It's finding whatever else in the body it can, which is fat. And then decreased leptin. So it's better control of my hunger, which is really cool. You have certain hormones that we tend to ignore when we're eating, because eating's a big part of our culture, right? Someone gets married, we eat. Someone has a baby, we eat. And so sometimes we ignore our hormone that says you're full or you're satisfied. I think full is too much. I think satisfied is a better, I think I learned this in a health class, is a better guideline to go off of, because then you're not overdoing it and you feel better. I mean, sometimes when you feel so full and stuffed, it doesn't feel good. And then it promotes longevity. So anti-aging effects and autophagy, which is the cellular cleansing, which it gets rid of old bad cells. And I think something with more white blood cells and brings in new cells to help the body start. I think that's part of the survival mode. It starts kicking in all these new cells that say, okay, she needs help, because she's starving herself, And then, so by that 72 hours, it also just boosts your immune system because cells are regenerating. So some of this might not be the most effective way of sharing what I've been learning, or, who's to say what's true and what's not, but these are just some things I've been learning. Take them as facts or as opinions. But yeah, I feel like I just wanted to share a little bit of my experience fasting for anyone who's curious, and tips if you want to try a fast. I think most of you have maybe done at least a 24-hour fast. If not, I would start there and maybe drink water. You can go without water for 24 hours, but for 72 hours, the whole time I was drinking water. So, you drink water the whole time. Start with 24, maybe do 48 the next time, but space it out a few months, even I think up to 6 weeks maybe. And then, if you want to try 72 hours, I think this one is a good one to get all the benefits of fasting. I know some people go 4 days, 5 days. To me, that feels excessive just because I don't think I could have made it more days. I could have, because your body, at times you feel hungry, but then you get over it. And then you just keep moving on. And then you finally get to eat food, and it's so wonderful. And now I'm so excited to eat food for the next long time because I'm not going to do this for a while. And I don't know, it just makes you appreciate food and cooking food for yourself or going out if that's what you want. I made a whole list of all the foods I wanted to eat. And now that I have my stomach full from dinner, I don't crave those anymore. So I'm going to try to go off sugar the best I can or have it in minimal amounts because now my body's detoxed from that. Although the whole fast, I'm oh, donut sounds so good. Or croissant beignets, just everything sounded so good. But yeah, now luckily my stomach's full. I'm not so focused on food. I'm excited to just get more sleep and see what happens the next few days as my body gets back used to eating again. I think my stomach definitely shrunk. So you have to be careful when you break your fast. Start small. So I started with the nuts. And then I think I should have waited longer, but I was excited and I ordered my food already. And I had some avocado toast and some chicken. And then I slowly added an oat cake and an egg and sausage. But only bites here and there. And a little bit of a smoothie. Oh, I forgot to put that in my fridge. Sorry. But yeah, I think it's better to maybe have a tiny bite of something and wait a full half hour. And then have another bite, wait maybe 20 minutes, and then eat a normal meal just to help your body start getting back used to it. But yeah, I highly recommend it. If you have questions, don't hesitate to reach out. I have read lots of articles about it, and the app I use to track my fast is actually pretty cool. It's called Life, Life. And you can just say, okay, I'm starting my fast now. And it walks you through all the stages that your body's hitting about at certain hours. And yeah, it just shows you just where your body's at. And if you want, you can put in your ketone and glucose levels. I haven't done that yet, and I wonder if I can still go back in and add it. But the app has learn more about each stage you get to. At 24 hours, you're definitely in ketosis, but at 48 hours, you're starting to hit autophagy. And then 58 hours is something, and then 72 hours is the immunity boosting. And so this app is really fun. And if you want to do it with other people, I think that helps a ton because you're in it with someone and you can collaborate together and create a group. So that's helpful. Definitely salt. I would have my electrolytes and then sometimes sprinkle more salt in it. Today I just started eating salt from my hand just to keep myself going. Salt crystals, I forgot to do it, but I have them at my house. You just suck on them whenever you're feeling hungry, and it takes that away because it tricks your mind, I think, by having something in your mouth. And another thing I learned to wrap up is everyone can fast differently. Some fasts are more strict And other fasts are more like intermittent fasting. So maybe they go 3 days fasting, but they have like a meal a day or something. And it's like strict with like the certain fats or carbohydrates or proteins you put in your body, and you track those levels. But like for some people, they can have anything 5 calories or less. So you could chew gum or have a drink that's 5 calories. But yeah, I loved just my electrolytes. I got some really cool tea tonics that were 0 calories, as well as some yummy Nixie sparkling water. And I felt good using all of those. My 48-hour fast, I also used seasoned salt in hot water. I think I did it in the wintertime, so I was more prone to that. Whereas this time I just had ice and cold electrolytes. And I didn't do the sea salt this time, or the seasoned salt. But that's also an option. So yeah, there's my spiel on fasting. I wanted to keep this episode brief. I have so many other thoughts on my mind that I am excited to share with you in the next Chat with Nat episodes or with my guests. I know dating is a popular topic people want to listen to. So if you have if you have poll ideas or things you want to learn about with dating, let me know. And I am more than happy to interview people, do the research, and then convey it and relay it to you. I was actually talking to a friend tonight, and there's a good thought that just in dating, like some guys just feel like good guys finish last, and they can't put in too much effort because then it pushes the girl away, but they also want to show that they are putting in effort and interested. And there's so much to dissect there, and I'm excited to do that next time. But till then, fasting's just kind of another crazy thing I decided to try. I do love trying new things, hence the ultra marathon and hence a 72-hour fast. And I feel like bad when people are like, oh, you're such an inspiration. Good job for doing this. And I'm like, no, like, I don't think I'm any different than anyone else. I'm just trying something new. And I feel weird when people like congratulate me on it, because I'm like, oh, it's just something I tried. I don't think it's as big of a deal, but I'm grateful for the support of people in my life, though. It's always fun to have people cheering you on. So thank you, everyone. Reach out if you have any questions. And my tagline, spread the light and light the passion. And I am passionate about health and doing things for your body that help you live a better life. And it is hard for 3 days without food, but I think it has benefits that I might not see until later in my life. But I think there's enough research done that I believe it, and it was worth a try. And yeah, I'll keep you posted if I do it again. And if you want to do it, let me know. I can help you through it. And have a great day, you guys. See you later.